What is good, YouTube? Warstu here with a video on the Marvel Avengers video game. So we finally have it confirmed. For the longest time ever, people have told me and said, Warstu, Spider-Man from the PS4 is going to appear in Marvel Avengers. And I've always said it can't, because now Insomniac Studios is owned by PlayStation Studios, aka Sony Interactive Entertainment. And although PlayStation do not own the Spider-Man character, they do, sort of. So Disney has basically given the Sony character of Spider-Man to PlayStation. So that variation of Spider-Man and PS4 and also Miles Morales cannot appear in the Marvel Avengers video game or anywhere else. I don't care what anyone's saying. And now we have an interview that categorically confirms it. So if you are new around here, make sure to subscribe to never miss any of the videos. At the 100,000 subscribe mark, I will be giving away something pretty darn cool. So in a recent interview with Lads Bible, obviously someone working for Crystal, had the following to say. Scott Amos said, finally confirmed that Marvel Avengers and Marvel Spider-Man exist in two separate universes. Something that will come as a major disappointment to fans. Although there is something called the multiverse, they're not in the same universe, and there isn't a multiverse inside the Marvel gaming universe. So sadly, this Spider-Man in Spider-Man PS4, Peter Parker and Miles Morales will not feature in Marvel Avengers. Obviously, there is going to be massive Easter eggs because you will be going to places like New York, Manhattan, etc. Having two games share the same universe would likely be difficult to pull off, as it would require two studios to work together very closely to make sure the crossover was worth it without infuriating on the individual games. Even so, it's still let down, as having the games crossover in some capacity could have been very interesting for Spider-Man and could have been PS4 exclusive character for the game. And it could feature as a mission, let's say the Avengers team up with NPC Spider-Man in New York from Square Enix's Marvel Avengers. Of viewpoint, it sure be boosting the popularity of the Avengers title, which fans are still a little bit skeptical, even though we've recently had the most recent trailer, which looks fire. You got to focus on the story. And now we're going to go over the rest of the details that we have for this video game. This video game is not really getting enough traffic online for how good it is. So if they were to cross over Spider-Man PS4 with Marvel Avengers, it would be huge and would drive a lot more sales and a lot more traffic. But I can understand why they're not going to do it. It's because it's exclusive to Sony, and obviously Marvel Avengers is going to be on Google Stadia, PC, and Xbox. So it's exclusive. So when it's exclusivity, then there's a massive problem. So Marvel Avengers future content and the PS5 version. Marvel Avengers is just around the corner, but the launch of the PlayStation 5 and Xbox, etc. will be as well. The game will be continually updated for free with new playable characters, missions, and region. This also continues a PlayStation 5 version once the console launches in 2020. It's rumoredly coming out in November. If you already own a PS4 version, well, you will get a free upgrade to the PS5 version, and I presume that's going to be the same thing with the Xbox Series X. Advantage of the next generation system enhanced would be two graphical modes will be on offer, obviously 60 FPS alongside with 4K Ultra. So essentially they're going to give you a free upgrade like everything else. Now Marvel Avengers have customization and loot alongside customization of gameplay abilities. With Marvel Avengers, it allows you to switch up the look of your character throughout the game with loot and cosmetic items. You can modify pieces of equipment to accommodate for bonus packages, perks, obvious stat boosts. Think of Destiny 2 loot system. You've got the right idea with tiers, which will make things look better and appear better from a self-gratification and point of view with extra perks. On top of that, Marvel Avengers will ship cosmetic costumes back to numerous comic book moments. Some of these will be purchasable through an online system, but Crystal Dynamics has promised that will never be an integral part to pay to win mechanics. You'll also be able to earn certain outfits throughout the game, which is cool because in the video game industry, looting is such a bad thing and it should be banned. So, Marvel Avengers gameplay and abilities. Marvel Avengers is a third-person action video game which allows you to customize your roster of superheroes with new abilities, skills, and upgrades, pretty similar to Spider-Man, PS4, and Batman Arkham, so to speak. Multiple skills tree for each character to give the chance to make each superhero your own, with the various movesets to utilize during combat, from simple light to heavy attacks, right the way through to an ultimate ability. Thor, for example, can customize using 4 different ability upgrade paths: melee, ranged, etc., which is pretty cool. Marvel Avengers, all playable characters. At the moment, there will be different characters. So we have Captain America, Steve Rogers, Iron Man, Tony Stark, Black Widow, Natasha Romanoff. We have Thor, Odin's son. We have the Hulk, Bruce Banner. And we have Miss Marvel, aka Kamala Khan. And yes, Captain Marvel, Hawkeye. And I presume there will be multiple other villains in this video game, like Ultron, I hope, Thanos, Loki, so many different other things. So the Marvel Avengers storyline has pretty much been confirmed now. We had the A-Day trailer back, it was months ago now, a celebration of 5 founding members of the Avengers: Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, Black Widow, and Bruce Banner, unveiling a new headquarters in the city of San Francisco. I believe this is so there's no confusion and crossover with the Avengers Tower in New York and stuff like that, which would be a problem because Spider-Man PS4 would get in the way. And then a Herocraft powered by Tarragon Crystal. However, the event is attacked by a terrorist organization led by a villain called Taskmaster, attacks the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco. And again, guys, that is a problem because you guys would seem to think Taskmaster's in Spider-Man PS4, so it's the same universe, but it's not. This results in the death of Captain America. The Avengers are blamed for the attack, and 5 years later, San Francisco finds itself under the control of AIM. The superhero statute outlawed. At the same time, Kamala Khan learns of her own abilities as well as conspiracy theories regarding the evil Enforcement Corporation. She then takes upon herself to reassemble the Avengers about justice. Marvel Avengers comes out, obviously now it comes out in September, and MODOK is the overall villain of the game, like we called. Mental organism designed only for killing. One of the game's main antagonists alongside the Abomination of Taskmaster. And we do see in the first trailer Hulk going on against Abomination. Now, I am very much supporting this video game. We did a live stream for this video game during the War Room where they explained lots of various details for this video game. So I hope this does explain a few things to you. Now, I really am supporting this video game. I believe there will be much, much more on this game. There are titles like War Zones alongside the levels and single player only activities where you play as a predetermined superhero. There are other things like title hero missions in combination with the 2 types of level and tell a comprehensive story focusing entirely on the Avengers. So there will be a single player story mode, then you will have a online mode where you can play along with your friends, and that is going to be cool. So add me on PSN at WarStew if you want to get on board. And I do believe it will be a very good game, although I don't believe it's getting much exposure. I wish the bigger YouTube channels, like the very big gaming channels, were talking about this. I don't really see any of the bigger gaming channels talking about this. And it's just going to be cool. There are lots of things that fans want in this game, but obviously it comes out in September, we're in early July. They're not going to tell us every single detail about the video game before it comes out. I am in talks with the company. Obviously, we do get press stuff, so we do know that it will be cool. So I think things that fans need is specific lobbies for multiplayer games where the fans can talk to each other, they can play with their friends, etc. Classical Avengers locations. There's multiple things this game could do to easily make it better. Diverse missions design. So basically having a range of different missions you can do online rather than just going 1v1v1v1v1. So we do know there's lots of Easter eggs in Kamala Khan's bedroom of obviously Black Panther himself, Hawkeye. We know there's going to be the introduction of many different things. Surprises along the way. We want surprises. It looks like a very predictable storyline, and I hope Square Enix, a combination of Crystal Dynamics, have something under their sleeves to show us a different storyline. More supervillains. Now, if you don't know this channel, we started off with Flash and Arrow. There's so many cool supervillains. So we know we won't be getting Spider-Man, but we could get people like Kingpin, Carnage, Kraven the Hunter, Dr. Octopus, just because we're not getting Spider-Man PS4 in a concurrent universe does not mean we can't get other villains. Like I said, Thanos should be in it, Loki, Ultron, so many big villains that could appear in this, and hopefully we do. The fact that they're blowing it up with MODOK. Now, MODOK was in Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 on the Switch, which is cool, but MODOK is becoming boring. He's such a boring video game generic villain, isn't he? Now, like I said, guys, I am pretty darn hyped for this game. References to Spider-Man PS4, like I said, even if they can't use Spider-Man from the PS4 game, PlayStation game exclusive, they can still reference Spider-Man because Spider-Man has to be around. He can just be away on other adventures along outside of the video game. It's going to be a problem because there is going to have to be an overarching story arc with Daredevil, because if you're not allowed Spider-Man, then does that stop Daredevil? And there has to be an overarching story leading up to the MCU of video games. In order for this video game to go well, they've just got to kind of copy the carbon copy storyline and somehow incorporate the MCU storylines, because at the end of the day, it is Marvel video games. Although they can't use Spider-Man, or could they? I believe eventually they will be, if the two companies can cross over and concurrently somehow make it great. I do believe in some capacity Spider-Man PS4 will cross over somehow. It could just be just in the Marvel Avengers game that it would still make it exclusive, because that's not like saying that you could play as Spider-Man in this game. What I believe they should do is bring Spider-Man PS4 over, but not make him playable. Just make him a character that is ran by NPC or something on that level. So like always, guys, like I've said from the start of this, when this game was called Marvel Avengers, we covered this video game there. So this video is everything that we know about this. I really think it's cool that there's loads of YouTubers, loads of content creators talking about this video game, because this video game needs more exposure. And if it was connected to Spider-Man PS4, this video game would get so much more exposure. So like always, please like, subscribe, and comment, guys. I'm really going to be pushing the Spider-Man content out, the Marvel Avengers content, loads of video game content on the channel alongside the Marvel DC pop culture based content. And if you could check out some other videos with the cards to your left and right, that would be awesome. And I'll catch you in another video very soon. Catch ya later.